Albright received many awards, which were Cyril Scholar Award and Scaring Frog Award for biochemistry as well as molecular biology. It was his fascination for butterflies that opened the world of science to him.
The scientist Richard Albright was fascinated by butterflies and he was curious about butterflies, which led him to the world of science. Richard H. Albright grew up north of Reading, Pennsylvania, USA.
So Richard was born in north of Reading. So can you tell me what do you mean by Reading? North of Reading?
City in America.
Yes, it's the name of city, which is being the only child of his mother and having no friends to play with, he made collecting things his hobby.
Richard was the only child of his mother and there were no friends for him to play with. So he made his interest in collecting things and it became his hobby later. As a child, he collected butterflies, rocks, fossils and coins.
So there were no friends. So he was a brilliant child. So he started collecting butterflies, rocks, fossils, and coins, and it became his hobby to collect them. He became an eager astronomer too. Sometimes stargazing all night.
Richard Albright became an curious astronomer and he used to gaze stars all night.
So can you tell me what do you mean by astronomer? Next slide. At the age of 22, Richard H. Albright and his college roommate excited the scientific world.
When Richard H. Albright was 22 years old, he and his college roommate they both became excited for the scientific world to explore. They explained a new theory on how cells work in an article in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science.
So they both started to work on a theory on how cells work in an article which was proceeded in the National Academy of Science. It was the first time this important scientific journal had ever published the work of college students.
At that time, this was the very first time when the very important scientific journal had ever published a work of a college student. For Richard Albright, it was the first in a long string of achievements in science and other fields.
So it was his first experience to work on the theory, and it led him in many achievements. In many achievements. So can you tell me on which theory he worked with his colleague?
His mother encouraged him, took him on trips, bought him telescope, microscopes, cameras, mounting materials and other equipment.
So Albright's mother also encouraged him on his passion. So she would take him on trips, bought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, mounting materials and other equipment for the theories and for experiments. By the time he was in the second grade, Albright had collected all 25 species of butterflies found around his hometown.
When Albright was in second grade, he had already collected 25 species of butterflies which were found around his hometown. A children's book called The Travels of Monarch the Tenth, which told how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America, opened the world of science to the eager young collector.
So his mother gave him a book called a children's book called The Travels of Monarch the Tenth. So in this book, there were many there were uh, interesting facts about monarch butterflies, how they migrate to Central America, and this opened Albright's interest in world of science, and he was eager to collect things as a young collector. So, what was the children's book name?
Okay. Now, anybody else wants to come forward and do this exercise? Explaining the slides in pairs. 2 boys, 2 girls, 1 boy, a girl. No. Okay, you continue.
So these are the species and subspecies of the butterflies which were collected by Richard Albright.
At the end of the book, readers were invited to help study butterfly migrations.
Okay. So at the end of the book, The Travel of the Monarch the Tenth, the author invited all the readers to study the butterfly migrations. They were asked to tag butterflies for research by Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto, Canada.
So the author requested the readers to tag butterflies and send them to tag butterflies. The author of the book was Dr. Frederick A. Urquhart of the University of Toronto, Canada.
So Wright was attaching light adhesive tags to the wings of monarchs. Anyone who found a tagged butterfly was asked to send the tag to Dr. Urquhart.
So Albright was one of the readers. So he started to attach light adhesive tags to the wings of monarch. Can you tell me what do you mean by adhesive? It's like a curve. He stick tags to the wing lightly so that the butterflies could fly. So anyone that found a tagged butterfly was asked to send the tag back to Dr. Urquhart. So can you tell me the name of the author of the book? Urquhart. So in which university he was? He would catch a female monarch, take her eggs and raise them in his basement through their life cycle, from egg to caterpillar to pupa to adult butterfly. Then he would tag the butterfly's wings and let them go.
So now the eager young collector, Richard A. Bright, would catch a female monarch and take her eggs and raise them in his basement through their life cycles, from egg to caterpillar to pupa and to adult butterfly. Then when they were matured, he would tag the butterflies and their wings and would let them go. Eventually, he lost interest as it was tedious and there was no much feedback.
So day after day, the Albright lost interest as it was tedious. The meaning of tedious is boring, and there was not much feedback. So when we lose interest, when there is no response. Only 2 butterflies he had tagged were recaptured, and they were not more than 75 miles from where he lived.
Okay. So Richard Albright tagged many butterflies, but of those many butterflies, only two were recaptured, and they were not far than 75 miles from where he lived. So can you tell me what is 75 miles? What is 1 mile?
Yes. And can you calculate what can be 75 miles into kilometers? 120 kilometers. Very good.
In 7th grade, Albright entered a counting science fair and lost.
So in 7th grade, Albright entered for a county science fair, county like district level science fair, and then when he entered in the county science fair, he lost. His entry was slides of rock tissues which is shown under a microscope. He realized the winners had tried to do real experiments, not simply make a neat display.
Okay. When Albright was in 7th grade, he had participated in a county science fair where he had lost. And in this entry, he showed slides of frog tissues, which were showed under a microscope. When he lost, he realized that the winners had tried to do real experiments, not just to do a neat display. He decided to do a real experiment and insects for the next year's
Experiment with insects.
experiment with insects for the next year's fair and wrote to Dr. Urquhart for ideas, which kept Albright busy on a route to high school and led to prize projects in county and international science fairs.
So when he got to know that he had to do real experiments, he started with insects because he was interested in insects. So he wrote Dr. Urquhart for ideas. So at that time there was no cell phones or mobile phones access to internet. So at that time people used to write letters to the one they know to get ideas or related topics for help. So he wrote the letter to Dr. Urquhart for ideas.
Who is Urquhart? Just ask them whether they remember.
So who is Dr. Urquhart?
Of the-
And also a well-known scientist.
Yeah.
So that kept Albright busy all this high school time, and it also led him to prize projects in county and international science fair. At this moment, he win prize in county as well as international science fairs.
Okay, let us stop it here. So let's. You want to? Okay. Question. Okay. Pranati, you ask a question.
What is the study of insects called?
Ah.
Entomology.
The study of insects is called entomology. You remember the term? Okay, now we understand that this was the beginning of the journey of that scientist Richard Albright. Okay, so it was a turning point in his life. The most important turning point was reading that book, then participating in a science fair and losing there. Then he realized the importance of real experiments in a scientist's life, and there he began his journey. Okay, now I'll continue. Thank you.